Ascension. It is a real process. And it's actually happening now. And so everything that I'll share with you today is more of what you already know. But it does not come from the kind of knowing most people operate from in society around us. It's a different sort of knowing. I'll explain. What most people know is their own idea of something. For example, when you see this object that I am holding, you don't see the real object. You see your idea of it, your beliefs about that object, and your past memory and experience with it. So, what most of us know is actually in the way of true knowing, of true seeing. Because if we only look at reality through our own glasses, which color everything we see with our own ideas, identity, story, beliefs, emotions, feelings, etc., then we will forever miss the real world in front of us. Now, the reason most people continue to look at life through those glasses is actually because of a human fear. Fear that if we were to see things for the truth of what they are, fear that if we were to see things happening in front of us the way they are without our stories about them, then we would be vulnerable and exposed in a damaging way. That perhaps the real world is too frightening for us to live in. And so we will prefer our stories because they make us feel safe and comfortable. Now, what I'd like for you to know is that what I'm about to share with you is not frightening. It is not scary. But to really see it and to really hear it, you must be willing to surrender that kind of knowing. Because if you cannot hear the voice that is speaking now and are only hearing your own mind's interpretation of it, then you will have missed the ascension point. So, the kind of knowing that we are speaking about today together is a different kind of knowing. It is a sort of realization because it is so true and so obvious that it penetrates you deeply into your spirit. So, ascension. What I'm about to share with you next may seem random, but it's not. Here it is. If you desired to go to the movie theater, do you desire to go to the movie theater because you cannot wait to leave the movie theater? No. You go to the movie theater because you want to see a movie. You want to experience it. You want to be there for it. If you were to go skiing or snowboarding, whichever you prefer, I myself am a skier. I've been going like literally 3-4 days a week since it opened. If you were to go skiing and snowboarding, do you go with the intention of the second you get there, you will do your best to try to immediately leave and get back home? No, you go to enjoy the process, the experience, and be there in it. Now, here's the point. Ascension is not the process of you ascending from the place that you are in to somewhere else. This is not the case. Your conscious awareness and ability to perceive through different perceptions, adding new senses, so to speak, into you and for your life here, then this is the case of what ascension holds for us, in part. But the idea that ascension is something that is you ascending or leaving this place or exiting the matrix is not correct. And though I do not wish to offend anybody, any offense you feel strictly comes from your attachment to your belief, which comes from your fear of being wrong. But please, do not hold the confident sword of needing to be right today, or you will have again missed the point. Because it is our willingness to move forward openly, without needing to be right, without needing to know, which allows new growth and expansion to enter our lives. So the reason I've shared these examples is because Any time you go to do something, you don't go with this intention to immediately leave. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And if you were to scrutinize this, you will see that it does not work. It is a wrong idea. Ascension is happening. The essential ascension is you waking up and learning how to actually be here now in this reality as it stands. See, it is actually people's inability to see the true reality in front of them that causes them to damage the planet, each other, and themselves. So, your goal is not to ascend out of this horrible place and enter some kind of heaven reality. If this is your idea, you've missed the point. The point is that we are here in a heaven reality already, but we are littering and making a mess of it because of our unwillingness to see the truth of what is before us. I'll explain. If you were to turn on a light in a room that's full of messes, it wouldn't be a pretty sight when the light turned on. You would immediately see the filth before you. And what many people do out of fear is they turn the light back off and they decide to live in their imagination, where they will imagine that it is a clean room they exist in. And they believe that just simply sitting there and imagining that as long as possible, that one day they will wake up in that reality. This is not the case. True light simply illuminates and shows you what is in front of you. Light doesn't always feel amazing. As a matter of fact, it doesn't have any feeling to it at all. All of those feelings are of the body and the mind. See, light is simple. It is accurate. It is truth. It is revealing. It is exposing. And ascension is about exposure, about showing the truth of what is going on here. And the truth is that we do live in a heaven reality. Do you realize we live on a floating rock in space, spinning at rapid rates? All of the plants and the nature intertwined, coexisting, and us here, able to perceive any of it at all. Think of all of the amazing life and love that happens here. So, the goal is not for us to leave this place and go somewhere better. The goal is for us to wake up and see the messes which are here. And please understand that all of the messes that you will see here are not natural, meaning that we did not enter a place that was pre-programmed with messes. No, we entered a perfect place and we made the messes ourselves. No other animal species on Earth does this. We do have a gift, however, the ability to be conscious. Most are not acknowledging and using that gift because it's easier to be unconscious. It's easier to hold an illusion in front of our face because, again, it makes us feel safe. It makes us feel like life's more fun. But life is fun. Life is a beautiful, incredible place. What I'm asking you to see is that if we cannot see the truth, if we cannot let real light illuminate, which is you are the light, by the way, then we will forever be in this cycle of making the messes and not picking them up and making more and more. And we will find that our idea of living in our imagination and pretending that we're going to ascend somewhere else actually created the world to be a dump. And that's not fair to us. It's not fair to this amazing place. And it is certainly not fair to all of the future generations. And again, I do not wish to offend, but I'd like to ask you a genuine question. Not to attack you, but for us to begin to consciously wake up more and more together. Because that's what's important. We must do it together. How often do you consider 10 generations from now, those people? How often do you take an action in your life? How often do you create in your life? Thinking about those people. Most of us aren't doing that. We're only thinking about ourselves and instant gratification and how to get exactly what we want right now. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. We live in a pleasureful place. I'm not asking you to deny your desires or your pleasure. There is a lot of school of thought that says that desire is the source of suffering. It's not. Desire is the source of your existence. The only reason existence, you and me, are here is out of divine desire. Desire is the source of everything. Desire creates you to eat. Desire created your parents to make you. Desire is creation. Desire is not the source of suffering. The source of suffering is our own delusional thinking, our unwillingness to see real life in front of us. And what are we afraid of at the end of the day? What is it that we're afraid of? When you turn on the Ascension light, you will see the messes before you, and you will pick them up, and you will clean them, and you will no longer contribute to those messes. That is an awake person, period. There are no other examples that portray an awake person any better. It does not matter what your beliefs are. It does not matter what dimensions you can see or what psychic abilities you have. You cannot see enlightenment. It is not possible. But you can see enlightened activity. And it looks like somebody who's awake, understanding responsibility within themselves to be that awakeness and to not go back to sleep, which is what so many of us do over and over and over again. And when life gets too hard and we get too uncomfortable and scared, what do? We reach for the nearest new understanding, the new prophecy, the new revelation to bury our imagination in, because it makes us feel safe for a while longer. But if you take a good look behind you and you see that whole cycle of you doing that over and over and over again, where does it lead? It leads to the same place every single time. More pain, more suffering. And any satisfaction you gain from that cycle is only temporary, and it's medial at best. Because there's a satisfaction that comes from being awake. There is nothing more satisfying. Nothing. Do not be afraid, because the true ascension really is happening now. And you would not be seeing this video if you were not ready for it. Now, this isn't some far-out idea to get you to start thinking all kinds of more fantasy things. No, it's very clear. If you did not resonate with this level of truth and courage and freedom from fear, freedom from self, you would have quit out of this video. Isn't that true? Nobody is willing to sit and listen to somebody attack their beliefs unless they have the courage to see what life might be like beyond their current level of belief. We're not here together by any sort of coincidence. We are here together because we are warriors of the light. Now, this does not mean that there is a battle happening here that we must fight in. That's not what it means. Martin Luther King said it best, in my opinion. One of my personal heroes, actually. We must not meet hate with hate. We must meet hate with love. We must not meet darkness with more darkness. Meet it with light. Our purpose here is to not attack anyone or anything, or to say this is what's wrong, or this group of people is what's creating the problem, or this. All of those kinds of statements come from fear and weakness. Courage and strength doesn't look like you blaming anybody. It simply looks like you realizing that you are the solution to these issues. It is you. Nobody else is going to come in and deal with it. It's you. And I've got news for you. You are the only one here. I'm not real. Nathan, the character before you, is just that. A character in a show, a stage performance. You are all that is real. Please realize that any pain and suffering happening in anywhere on this planet comes from you not waking up. And I'm asking you, from a place of real true love and courage right now in this moment, that I know is coming from you. It's just you speaking to yourself, you see. I'm asking you to turn on the light and leave it on. turn the light on and leave it on. And do not be afraid, because when you see things that make you uncomfortable, when you feel things that make you uncomfortable, this is not a sign to turn back. It is a sign to keep moving forward, because it is through this discomfort, it is through these experiences where growth, strength, cultivate and expand within and then throughout you. Detachment is not the answer. Don't attach to detachment. Don't desire to not desire anything. None of these are actually the true source of suffering. The only source of suffering comes from you thinking that you are this person. I am Nathan. Nathan is me, this body, this mind, this story. Oh, what will these people think of me? Oh, what if I don't achieve this? What if I don't get that money? Oh no, what if I don't feel pleasure? This isn't me. Nathan's not real. I am. I am all that is, and I am you. You are me. So don't judge yourself. Don't hate yourself. Just wake up. Really, it's all that ever needed to happen. Just wake up and see. Open your eyes. Take off the sunglasses. Take off the shades. And breathe. Me and you, we don't need to be right. We don't even need to be strong. We just need to be here. Really actually here. And I'm sure it won't confuse you to acknowledge that most of us aren't here. You're here, but you're busy thinking about something else. You're here, but you're worried about achieving this next week. You're here, but you're busy daydreaming about this person or this thing. Just be here. Here is where you are, and that's on purpose. We are not in a matrix where the purpose is to wake up and leave it. We are meant to wake up and be here. And I know that if you're still here, you are one of the few. And that's all it takes. Because just one truly, authentically awake individual has more power than billions, truly. Take a look and see it for yourself, and understand you must be willing to move through the fear and discomfort if you are to make it to the true source of power and all that is. Let this be a promise given from your true self directly to you and the human character you're playing here. You can do this. You do have what it takes. You do. You really do. And if not you, who? It has to be you. And it was always going to be you. Thank you. Much love to you. Please join us on January 21st for an enlightenment workshop online. You can learn about that in the description of this video, as well as seeing new Vibes and Frequencies courses, coaching, and many other services tagged below. And until next video, well, just be here. Feel it for what it is. You've got this. I have more faith and confidence in you than you could possibly imagine. See you soon. And thank you.